It was a hard game. It's what we expected. It was a grind. Obviously we weren't happy with the start. I thought we got some really big performances out of Bliss's line. I thought Hallinan was very good. I thought Paratino played well. And they gave us great leadership by example. And we were able to create pretty consistent offense and got us back in the game. Ferris State played hard. We knew they'd play hard. A lot of a tremendously coached team. They played a lot of emotion, a lot of drive, and glad that we had enough time to come back from that 2-goal deficit, and feel fortunate we came out with some points.
What were they doing in the first period that was so effective as when they were pushing the puck up the ice so quick?
Well, they were pressuring us, and we were floating, and really, a lot of it was turnovers and just misplays. Like we were just looking for an easy night. There were a lot of players looking for an easy night, and you question yourself as a coach as to, you do everything you can to try to prepare the group to be ready. But every play matters in a hockey game. Every play matters. I wasn't happy at all with that fourth goal that they got. I thought again that we kind of just took our foot off the gas, and you want to know that you're never going to do that. You want to know that you're going to play one way from the time the puck is dropped to start the game till the time that last horn sounds and the game is over. And we want guys to focus that way in practice and focus that way in the game. So again, I think we're fortunate to come out with this. We got some goals. That's a good thing. We gave up goals. That's not such a good thing.
The defense seemed to have some lapses on the defensive side, half of the ice today. Do you guys plan on trying to address that between today and tomorrow?
We had, our defense, I thought, had lapses on both sides, with the puck and without it. And certain individuals continued to have that, and certain individuals rectified that. I thought some players played very well. I thought Goetz played well tonight. I thought he played pretty consistently well, and we got the same effort we're always going to get out of Caro, and I thought that Colin got his game together as the game went on. So I thought that you notice if a goaltender has a bad night, then you notice if defensemen have bad nights, and then you notice with forwards. I certainly think that there were some forwards that that had a shift here and there. But I thought Bliss's line drove it all night long. They had their foot in the gas all night long, and were driving it and getting scoring chances, and were able to score some goals for us. And Paratino hits a crossbar right at the end of the second period. I mean, they drove it all night long, and I think guys got to learn. Others have to do that too, and not just look and say, well, they gotta, we all have to rationalize. I know that we're doing things hard as a staff to try to find ways to create more offense. We're seeing a little bit of that pay off. The players are working hard at it. But I think the ones that are paying the most attention to detail, and the players that are self-analyzing, really looking at their game, are learning as well. And I think that others are just kind of, sometimes, it's what they have to learn is the lessons of life, that everything's not easy, and you need to bring home the check all the time. You need to bring home that paycheck and put food on the table, and you can't take a week off here or there. You can't selfishly let go from a job. You have to get up, punch your clock, go to work, and make that money. And you may not like it, but they're playing a game. These guys, we're all playing a game. This is a game. This is entertainment. But there's so many great lessons that can be learned to serve us through the rest of our lives. And I think that I think we all need to really focus on getting better and impacting all the time.
Speaking of impact, Ashbrook now has 4 goals in his last 3 games. Are you starting to see some more, in his game as far as getting to the net and making plays around the net?
Yeah, well, we're seeing out of Tristan that he's Tristan is establishing his game. It hasn't been. I think I sat him out a game earlier in the year. I might have. I think. Is that right, Kel? I don't think he's played. He's played every game. Okay. But I know I've certainly challenged him on things and to create offense off of defense is very important, because that with Tristan it's a number. It's if he gets a certain amount of numbers, he's going to score a certain amount of goals. If he gets the opportunities from a certain area, they can't all come from the rush. They have to come from some offensive zone play. They have to come from some neutral zone counter. They have to come from some face-off plays. They have to come from some power plays. And in order to have those things, it means you have to get a shot, get a retrieval, get a second shot, get a retrieval, get a third shot, get traffic net, bang it home, and he's learning to do those things. I mean, that power play goal, there were bodies everywhere. I thought on that goal. I'll have to look at it, but I mean, who got it? I don't know. Don't think Tristan Ashbrook gets announced. So you like to see him get those in hard ice areas, and I credit him because he's young. As far as he's a super sophomore, call it what you want, with the COVID, with opportunity on the back end to play more if he wants to. So he's relatively still young for us, and he's doing a lot of he's figuring out the game, and it's good to see him have success, and we certainly need it because he can put pucks in the net.
Speaking of Ashbrook, his line seemed to be really productive until not seeing the results for the goals until the very end of the game. For example, Logan Pietala and Justin Miziak were doing pretty well on the forecheck and defensive back checking as well today.
Yeah, they were. They're guys that really, with their size and things, really need to get inside position, and they can't. They have to try to do less with their arms, I think, and more with their body. Get inside, get in between the hands, and get separation between the hands and the puck. Take that stick away and take pucks, instead of reaching and trying to pull pucks or poke pucks and go get them and things like that. And they're getting that. They're getting it. They're getting better and better. Their battle percentage is going up on both those guys. They're getting a little chemistry on that line. So, but there's a lot of work that goes into getting a scoring chance, and then repossessing the puck and getting another scoring chance, so that all of a sudden you're coming out with a net gain of +4 even strength scoring chances on a night. To do that consistently is, it takes a complete understanding of the game and tremendous amount of effort. So we want them to keep doing that because it's really important to us.
You're starting to see Parentino not only get scoring chances, but also battling for pucks and getting control. What do you like in his game right now?
Just what you said. He's battling for pucks. He's getting some separation now. That he was, I think, on that goal, that crossbar in the third period, he was like 1-on-3. His line mates were probably changing on that. I'm not sure, but they might. But he was all alone on it, and he stole a puck and went in and got some separation, and he's got the ability to do that. So, what you said, you're picking out the same players that we're praising as well, and you're seeing the growth in Tommy. You're seeing the growth in Arvid in a lot of ways. He had no points in his first 7 games. I think he got an assist tonight, so that's like 6 points in his last 5 maybe games. So he's in the last 5 he's a point a game guy, and last year he got off to a slow start, had 2 points at Christmas, got 16 the second half of the year. This year he's up to I think 6 now. He's maybe 6 points now, and still a few 5 games left before Christmas. So if he can continue to do that for us, he's gonna have really good point totals as well. So there's guys, they're all working hard. Some guys are really working through some adversity, I think, though, and really trying to push above and beyond, and other guys are need to get on board with that message, I think, and then as one guy at a time, with people fast is slow, one guy at a time, get one guy on board, and as long as we don't lose another one, we'll be that one guy better, and then whenever it happens for the next, get him on board, we're a little bit better. So that's what we're doing, just trying to focus on one player at a time.
Speaking of point totals, Brian Hallinan has almost, or he maybe has tied his point totals from last season. Monstrous growth, I think 18 points in 11 games now. What do you see from him as compared to his last 3 years here at Tech?
Same thing you see. We always told Brian he'd always get like 12 goals and 8 assists. 13 goals and 7 assists. Always around the 20-point mark. And we've told him that if you can get your assist total up where it should be and get that up to be, you get your 10, 12 goals, and then you get your assist total up to about 18. Well, you're a 30-point guy. That's a good college hockey total. Now you're getting into some of the good players we've had in the past. You get 30, 32, 34 points. You're and he's impacting the game, and they're drawing coverages, and they're drawing matches, and they're drawing everything, and they're still putting he and Bliss are still putting him up. So the fact that he's getting separation, he's making plays, he's seeing the ice, he's got another dimension to his game. He's taking care of the puck. He's getting us again second and third opportunities with his strength, drawing double coverages and still making plays through that. Or at least guys are, he's panicking the defense enough so that they have to bring in some help. And then if he moves it while they're doing that, they're caught. They have guys away from the net. And then you got Sawyer and guys like that that'll make a play at the point. So what he's doing, you're saying he's more complete in his entire game. I'll look, but going into tonight's game, he hasn't been involved in a single 5-on-5 scoring chance against on the year. We're 12 games in now. I don't know about tonight, but going into the night, he hasn't been involved in a single scoring chance against as a primary or secondary. Unheard of. By far the only guy on the team that's played any minutes at all. And he plays a lot of minutes. So pretty complete hockey player, as is Bliss, as is so many of our guys. And a great example of just no nonsense. Again, show up, do my job, not make any excuses. Sorry guys, that was my fault. And then try not to do it twice. He's just, like Ashbrook, he's just evolving into being a hockey player. And again, I think we're getting great leadership, especially out of Bliss. So.
Final question. You always talk about making sure that the first period of the second game is
fourth period.
How do you make sure you don't get a repeat of the first period of today's game?
Excuse me. That's I thought we had a really good, crisp week of practice this week. We kept it relatively short. The puck movement was good, energy was good, execution was good. I mean, that first period was by far the worst day of the week that we've had. And was it physical? Was it mental? I mean, I don't know. So it's got to come from within that locker room. As long as the preparation is there, like I didn't go in after any period, and I told Blisser and Boss to take care of the room, get it going, and then all I told our guys after the first is we need to play with more speed and we need to manage the puck better, because going in and ranting and raving isn't even gonna make me feel better. It's gonna keep me up at night, hoping I didn't overly offend somebody. So it's within the room. We'll watch some video on what we can take out of our game tomorrow and grow from it. And we'll get ready. I'm sure we'll have some new guys in the lineup tomorrow. Still, again, there's opportunity. We're looking for some guys that grab positions and impact the hockey game. And when they get the chance, impact it again. You know what I mean? They get the chance, impact again, and all of a sudden you become a regular when you have enough of that. But you get to a point where 2 steps forward, or 1 step forward, 2 back, and then 2 forward, 2 back, or we have to find guys that have continual growth. And really it's impacting, we talk about impacting the game, hard skill, winning your battles and turning it into offense over and over and over, and not being involved in stupid plays against. I didn't think we covered well for our defense tonight. You guys probably saw that. We had D up because of their forecheck primarily. There weren't pass options. And Ferris played hard. We knew they were going to play hard. They're well coached. But we had a lot of D leading the rush and no one covering for them. As an example, their second goal, I believe, the one where they rimmed it and they got by Arvid, made a 2-on-1 play to the front of the net. That was an example of that. We got a D up and no one covers for them, and then they just rim it out, and it's a foot race. Those are mental mistakes that all they're doing is thinking one way, and you can't lose the forest through the trees, or whatever the saying is. You you know, this isn't a horse track, you know what I mean? Where just look ahead and make sure that you don't see another horse ahead of you. This is a, you know, this is a landscape, and you got to see it all.
Okay.